Today's lesson is making the most of strawberry season. Hi, everybody. My name is Roger.
And I'm Candice.
And it's strawberry season. Of course, here in Taiwan, a very popular pastime is to go to various farms and orchards and pick fruit. There are all sorts of different kinds of fruit you can pick, but one of the most popular activities is picking strawberries. So this is strawberry season. It's not around all year long, so you need to make the most of strawberry season. And last time we gave you some advice on how to pick strawberries.
And today we're talking some more about what recipes we can use strawberries in. Let's start our lesson by listening to the first paragraph right now.
In addition to being nutritious, strawberries are delicious enough to eat by themselves. Sometimes, though, plain just isn't good enough and we want something different. In that case, try some strawberries soaked in balsamic vinegar. It's hard to explain why these flavors work together, but they absolutely do. And this flavor combination also works well in salads, such as spinach and strawberry salad with balsamic vinegar dressing. Trust me, it's delicious.
大家好，第一部分我们可以看到形容词 nutritious 指的是营养丰富的。例如 A diet lacking in nutritious food can have disastrous effects on the mind and body. 饮食中若缺乏营养的食物，可能对身心造成非常糟糕的影响。或者 For lunch, Michelle had a nutritious salad instead of fast food. Michelle 午餐吃了一份营养的沙拉，而非素食。另外补充这个字的名词 nutrition, N-U-T-R-I-T-I-O-N, nutrition, 它的意思是营养。像是 Proper nutrition is necessary if you don't want to get sick. 如果你不想生病，就需要适当的营养。又或者是 If you eat lots of fruits and vegetables, you should get the nutrition your body needs. 如果你吃大量的水果和蔬菜，你将得到你身体所需的营养。接下来我们看到名词 vinegar, 它的意思是醋。举例来说 Do you want vinegar or lemon juice in the sauce for your salad? 您的沙拉酱汁想要用醋还是柠檬汁呢？又或者说 The dish needs a little more vinegar. 这道菜需要再加多一点醋。再来我们看到单字 combination, 这个字是名词，指的是组合、结合或是混合。例如The bridge's collapse was a combination of poor planning, poor construction, and poor maintenance. 这座桥之所以倒塌，是糟糕的规划、施工和维修所造成的。或是 The color pink is created by the combination of red and white. 粉红色是混合红色与白色而来。另外补充这个字的动词 combine, C-O-M-B-I-N-E, combine. 它的意思是结合或是组合。我们可以说 Cameron is looking for a way to combine his job with his hobbies. Cameron 寻求结合工作与兴趣的办法。也可以说 The museum combines fun and knowledge to help children learn. 那个博物馆结合乐趣与知识来帮助孩子们学习。
Okay, so remember last time we were talking about the benefits of strawberries. They're nutritious. They get rid of antioxidants. They're good for your heart. They reduce inflammation. And so, of course, they've got lots of minerals and vitamins in them. So we begin our lesson today by saying, in addition to being nutritious, strawberries are delicious enough to eat by themselves. Yes, you can just eat them by themselves without preparing them at all. We have this pattern here in addition to also. Okay, so in addition to being nutritious, they're also delicious enough to eat by themselves. You don't have to have the also there. That's optional. But in this particular case, the word nutritious means it's got lots of vitamins and minerals in it. It's very good for your health.
There are lots of benefits to eating strawberries. Sometimes, though, plain isn't good enough and we want something different. So it's now introducing some other options if you don't want to eat strawberries by themselves. In that case, try some strawberries soaked in balsamic vinegar. Right, so balsamic vinegar is one of my favorite kinds of vinegar. It's a special kind of vinegar made in Italy, and it's a little thicker than a lot of the vinegar that I can find here in Taiwan. So you get different varieties of vinegar. You get rice vinegar. You can get vinegar made from grapes. You can get vinegar made from various fermented fruit, apple cider vinegar. They all have some kind of health property because our body needs some sort of fermented fruit to function properly.
Right on. So, of course, strawberries can be soaked in balsamic vinegar. If you soak something in something else, you put it inside that thing, usually in a liquid, and let it sit there for a certain amount of time so that the fruit, the strawberry, can kind of suck in the flavor. It can soak in the flavor. And yes, indeed, I've never heard of this before. It does sound kind of interesting, though. Indeed, you can soak strawberries in balsamic vinegar for a new taste treat. And it's hard to explain why these flavors work together, but they absolutely do. So yes, you might be thinking, strawberries, aren't they kind of sweet? And isn't balsamic vinegar kind of sour? So how could they work together? Well, as we explained before, sometimes sweet and sour flavors work well together. They just do. Take our word for it.
Yeah, sometimes the weirdest things taste good together. So we know some common combinations like PB&J, peanut butter and jelly. That's a really common one. Or cheese and tomato, or ham and cheese, or BLT. Those are common food combinations that we're familiar with. But balsamic vinegar and strawberries is a new one for me too. Right, and this flavor combination also works well in salads such as spinach and strawberry salad with balsamic vinegar dressing. Now, I definitely like to try that because I like strawberries and I like balsamic vinegar. And so I'm really interested to see what they taste like together. So a combination is putting different things together, mixing them in different quantities, combining them. So I'd like to taste what it tastes like with a vinegar dressing. A dressing, of course, is something that we pour over salad. Usually it's a kind of sauce made from some vinegar, maybe some cream, or what else do you put in there? Some salt, some pepper, some herbs, and then you pour that over your salad to make it even more delicious. So the writer says, trust me, it's delicious.
This balsamic vinegar dressing with strawberry and spinach salad will work very well, so you should try it. Head to the kitchen now and make yourself a salad. I wonder where you can buy balsamic vinegar in Taiwan. I haven't seen it for quite some time. Okay, that brings us to the end of the first part of our lesson for today. Let's move on now to the second part.
There are also dozens of classic recipes for those who prefer something more traditional. Strawberries with vanilla ice cream or whipped cream are hard to beat, as are strawberry shortcake and strawberries dipped in chocolate. And what if you do find yourself with lots of old or bruised strawberries? They're perfect for a strawberry jam or preserve. Meanwhile, if you're in the mood for something particularly healthy, try starting your day with a fruit and vegetable smoothie made with spinach, kale, strawberries, and bananas.
第二部分我们看到名词 recipe 指的是食谱。举例来说 When Cecilia tries a new recipe, she invites her friends over to have a taste. 当 Cecilia 尝试新食谱时，她会邀请她的朋友过来试菜。或是 I'm using my grandmother's recipe to make the pumpkin pie. 我用祖母的食谱来做南瓜派。接着，我们看到片语 be in the mood for 加名词，或是 be in the mood to 加动词，意思是有点点点的兴致，或是想要点点点。举例来说 After I eat a large meal, I'm usually in the mood for a nap. 我在吃了大餐后，通常会想要小睡一下。或是 Sam was in the mood to have pizza, but his brother wanted to get Mexican food. Sam 想吃披萨，但他弟弟想吃墨西哥食物。
Okay, now remember, if you have some instructions as to how to make a particular kind of food or a particular dish, then you will have a recipe. A recipe, of course, is a set of instructions that tells you how to make a certain kind of food. It will list the ingredients, and then it will give you the steps one by one. First, prepare the vegetables, to put them in the oven, etc., etc. So that is an example of a recipe. So there are also dozens of classic recipes for those who prefer something more traditional. So I'm sure you can go online and find all sorts of recipes that have strawberries as an ingredient.
Yes, there are plenty of strawberry recipes, strawberry shortcake. You can use strawberry in lots of desserts. I have, in fact, seen dessert pizzas here in Taiwan that have either bananas or strawberries on them. But quite a classic combination is strawberries with vanilla ice cream or whipped cream are hard to beat, as are strawberry shortcake and strawberries dipped in chocolate. So these are some of the more traditional combinations that most people would have heard of. My personal favorite on the list is the strawberries dipped in chocolate.
That does sound tasty indeed. So yes, indeed, we've got some recipes here. Strawberries with vanilla ice cream or whipped cream. Whipped cream is just cream that has been mixed around so it's kind of fluffy, like the foam in your latte. That's hard to beat. It's hard to find something more tasty than that, as are strawberry shortcake and strawberries dipped in chocolate, which Candace said is her favorite here. So, of course, strawberry shortcake is when you have strawberries on top of a small piece of cake. Shortcake is cake that is not as fluffy as the usual cake, although sometimes shortcake can be spongy. It kind of depends on the kind of shortcake that you buy. And you'll have some whipped cream with that. I had that quite often when I was a kid. And also strawberries dipped in chocolate, which I haven't really had, but it does sound very tasty.
And what if you do find yourself with lots of old or bruised strawberries? Okay, so as we know, that situation does arise not only because you might accidentally pick some bruised strawberries, but strawberries also bruise quite easily in transit. So what if, that is, if the situation arises, what do you do with those bruised strawberries? Well, the writer suggests that bruised strawberries or slightly damaged strawberries are perfect for strawberry jam or preserve. So we can still use those strawberries. We don't have to discard them. We don't have to throw away anything. We don't have to waste them. We can turn them into strawberry jam, which we can eat on toast, or preserve them in some other way.
Exactly. To preserve them means to put them in a jar and leave them there for a while so that the flavor can mature. Meanwhile, if you're in the mood for something particularly healthy, try starting your day with a fruit and vegetable smoothie made with spinach, kale, strawberries, and bananas. That's kind of a radical suggestion. I'm not quite so sure about that, but you might be in the mood for something healthy, something that's good for you. If you're in the mood for something, that means you just feel like doing that. So, yeah, you've had strawberries that are sweet, and you've had them with chocolate or as strawberry shortcake, and you want to try something that's healthful for you. Well, you can start your day with a smoothie that mixes all these ingredients. A smoothie is when you mix things together, usually with milk, ice cream, or yogurt.
Yeah, and you put everything together in a blender and you juice your vegetables and you juice your fruit. So everything just turns into a really smooth mixture, which is drinkable. And one of the ingredients in the smoothie they mention is kale. Kale is one of the latest superfoods. It's a green leafy vegetable, which is family of the cabbage. So it's in the cabbage family. And it has kind of a peppery flavor, but it's very healthy for you. It's high in antioxidants, same as strawberries are. So that will boost your antioxidant intake if you add some kale to your smoothie. And I guess the bananas are there to mask the slightly peppery, bitter taste of the kale.
Right, so combining vegetables and fruit in this way sounds kind of weird to me, but you never know. It might be quite tasty, and you can rest assured that it's good for your body. It will help you live a long and healthy life. Okay, that brings us to the end of the second part of our lesson. Let's listen to the third and final part right now.
With so many healthy and delicious options, strawberries are easy to get excited about. In fact, ancient Egyptians thought you could get too excited by them, with some supposedly believing that eating too many too quickly would turn you into a cat. But if you ask me, that's a risk worth taking this strawberry season.
最后第三部分，我们看到副词 supposedly， 意思是根据推测、据称、大概或是可能。例如 This movie is supposedly based on a true story. 这部电影据说是根据真实故事改编的。或是 This medicine is supposedly safe, but still I wouldn't take it. 这种药据说是安全的，但我还是不会吃。
Okay, so we wrap things up by using this pattern with all these things. Then you can make a conclusion. So with so many healthy and delicious options, strawberries are easy to get excited about. So in reading this sentence, of course, I can tell that the author is wrapping things up. The author is ending the article, even though I'm sure there are lots more things to say about strawberries. But we've mentioned lots of healthy and delicious options regarding strawberries. An option, of course, is a choice, and we're referring to the different kinds of choices you have in preparing strawberries to eat.
Right, and then he introduces something, a bit of trivia. In fact, ancient Egyptians thought you could get too excited by them, with some supposedly believing that eating too many too quickly would turn you into a cat. Okay, right, so that remains to be seen. So when we say supposedly, it's believed by some. It's not really verifiable, it's unverifiable. People are saying, according to some, they're saying it's a bit of an outlandish idea. It's not really something that to be believed today, right? So I don't think you'll turn into a cat if you eat too many strawberries too fast.
So here we've got the word supposedly, which means apparently, or basically according to what people believe, or according to common knowledge. So apparently, supposedly, it's been said, people have said this is kind of common knowledge, or at least some people have mentioned this. We don't know if it's true or not, but supposedly if you eat too many too quickly, hey, you might turn into a cat, which may not be such a bad thing because, as you know, cats have 9 lives.
Right, and the author has a similar attitude. I don't think he really minds being turned into a cat. He says, but if you ask me, that's a risk worth taking this strawberry season. So he's tongue-in-cheek jokingly saying that he wouldn't mind too much if he were turned into a cat, as long as he could enjoy strawberries as many as he'd like.
Indeed. Some people might actually like to turn into a cat, and maybe some people would like to turn into a dog, but I don't think a lot of people would like to be turned into a cockroach, so I need to know which foods people eat to turn into cockroaches. I will avoid that kind of food like the plague. But indeed, we've been talking about the benefits of strawberries, and hopefully we have given you some inspiration or some motivation to head out to some of those farms in Miaoli or Taichung or wherever and pick some strawberries and make the most of strawberry season. Okay, that brings us to the end of our explanation for today. Here comes Hanny.
各位同学大家好，我是 Hanny。 我们来看今天的文法重点。课文第二部分有一句写到 Strawberries with vanilla ice cream or whipped cream are hard to beat, as are strawberry shortcake and strawberries dipped in chocolate. 好，那这边两个重点哦。第一个文中它用到 hard to beat， 也可以用 tough to beat， 是表达难以被超越。beat 当动词，它有打败、击败的意思。那这个片语字面意思就是难以被打败，就是用来表达说某事物非常好，而别的事物也不太可能比它更好的意思。好，再来第二个重点是文中它用到 as are strawberry shortcake and strawberries dipped in chocolate， 用这样去表达说草莓奶油蛋糕和巧克力草莓亦然，它们也是如此，它们也是很难以被超越的语义。好，那这边的 as 是当连接词来用，表达如同也是。我们要表达跟前方子句的主词做了相同的事，跟前面叙述的情况相同时，其实就可以把后面重复的字词省略，改用 as 助动词主词，或是 as be 动词主词，去表达说什么什么也是，如同什么什么。那要注意的是，这里的主词跟 be 动词或助动词有倒装哦。这个 be 动词或助动词是要配合后方主词的单复数和时态，像 as am I， 我也是， as does my sister， 我姐姐也是。注意这个 be 动词或助动词是配合后方的主词。好，那再来，通常当我们前方的叙述这个子句它使用到 be 动词的话，我们 as 后面这边也会使用 be 动词。通常当前方这个叙述的子句呢是一般动词的话，我们就会根据时态以及人称，在 as 后方使用适当的助动词。那我们来造两个例句会比较清楚，像 Ben is a baseball fan，as is his son， Ben 是个棒球迷，他儿子也是。那我们前面说 Ben is a baseball fan， 这边用到 be 动词 is， 那我们后面就是用 as is his son 来表达他儿子也是，那也是用到 be 动词。再来 Ben likes baseball，as does his son， Ben 喜欢棒球，他儿子也是。那我们前半句这个 Ben likes baseball， 这边 likes 是一般动词，那接着我们后半句这个 as does his son， 这边我们就是用助动词 does 去表达咯。好，再来接着读到课文下一句。And what if you do find yourself with lots of old or bruised strawberries？ 那要是你发现自己有很多放久了或碰伤的草莓怎么办呢？好，这边用到 what if， 它就跟 what would happen if 意思相同。那这个句型 what if 主词加动词就可以表达要是点点点会怎么样。What if 后面接的子句呢，可以用直说法表达，也就是时态它会照正常变化，就像课文里面的用法。那么 what if 后面的子句也可以用假设法去表达跟事实相反的情况。我们就来看两个例句，像 What if it rains？要是下雨怎么办？那我们看到它这边用直说法，这个时态是正常变化，在 what if 后面接 it rains。好，再来 What if you won the lottery？ What would you do with the money？ 要是你中了乐透会怎么样呢？你会怎么样运用那笔钱呢？可是中乐透这件事情没有发生啊，我们却用 What if you won the lottery？ 用过去式动词 won， 所以这边是用假设法来表达哦。好，以上是今天重点整理，我们回顾今天的单字吧。
Nutritious. The puppy was fed a nutritious diet that helped it grow into a big, strong dog. Soak. Robert soaked the rice in water for 30 minutes before cooking it. Vinegar. The cook used some vinegar to mix a delicious dipping sauce. Combination. The combination of Sherry's passing ability and Fiona's scoring ability helped the team win. Recipe. The recipe for the cookies says that they should be baked for 15 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Option. The university provided a wide range of options in terms of fields of study. Supposedly. Cindy was supposedly coming to the show, but Helen had doubts about that.
Discussion starter starts now!
Here's our discussion starter for today. The question is, are strawberries your favorite fruit? Why or why not?
Strawberries are not my favorite fruit. I prefer peaches since they're sweeter, juicier, and more lush.
Okay, well, strawberries are my favorite fruit depending on the time of the year. Right now I like strawberries because it's February, but during the summer, of course, my favorite fruit is mangoes, but they're only in season for a short time. And then later on in the fall and winter, my favorite fruit is dragon fruit because, again, they're only in season at certain times of the year. But right now, it's strawberry season. Well, that brings us to the end of another edition of our program, and please make sure you join us again next time. From all of us here, I am Roger.
I'm Candice.
See you next time.